Well, there goes the Daverhood. Well done, Potato. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
David, he's a bat. He's a bat.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not a potato.
He's a potato bat.
He's a potato bat. Potato bat. Potato bat. Potato bat. So this is on Halloween. My darling wife Joyce decided that we should be like a lot of the other families on the block and have some kind of presence in our windows
We didn't have
for the holiday.
a burning fire with a headless horseman, but
No.
we had. This one is the costume that we bought at the 99-cent store, but worth it. Look at that. Look at the level of put his wings flat. Look at that. He could be an extra in the Wizard of Oz. I mean.
Yeah, this is like.
That's like high tech.
This is like I have a Birdman from Inarritu.
Beautiful.
But so we had our Halloween display of all the potatoes.
They're still in the living room.
Most of them. But he wound up somehow in a drawer in our bedroom, and I just saw him this morning. I'm like, oh my God, Bat-tato.
Because bats need darkness. That's his cave.
There you go.
His drawer cave. He doesn't have a float back cave.
There you go. That explains everything.
Yeah.
That is why Bat-tato was not in the living room for the past 3 weeks. Poor fella. So he is now back with us on this non-Halloween edition
No.
of Dave's Gone By.
This is 9/18.
I mean, the world is a lot scarier right now than Halloween ever was, but no, this is a classic, standard, basic, wonderful.
You have the protection of the tripod of the Melvin G. Mintz Trinity.
I know. We have.
I think you should get a picture of him wearing his sneakers and little workout outfit. That would be that's the serious Melvin G. Mintz. But I think the playful more like I'm wearing sweatpants and maybe wear sneakers.
Oh, I know.
A physical therapist. We need the more casual Melvin G. Mintz to kind of.
But it's not as iconic.
Yes.
That would create.
It's like Gotti. Gotti wore the suit. Gotti wore sweatbands.
Right, well, yeah.
Right?
I think Melvin G. Mintz probably looks better in sweatpants and a sweatband than John Gotti did.
I don't know. The sneakers were a bit chunky. Like those were a bit heavy sneakers. But maybe they're some kind of physical therapeutic sneaker.
You think? Do they make those?
I don't know. I know they make like diabetic shoes and stuff, and they make shoes for people with.
Oh, don't forget we have Bunion Watch coming up later, folks. So as you can sort of hear and see, I'm battling another.
Did you steam yourself? No.
No, I did not. I did not steam myself, or did I walk myself, nor did I fry myself.
Oh,
but
crock pot yourself.
Yeah, as you can hear from my throat, I'm, in the midst of another semi-cold, like I had a couple of weeks ago, and
I found that the doctor I was interested in having you take, who's local, they're right where we get the bagels.
Ooh.
So I don't know if they're taking new patients, but I think you need to be seen in person.
I should probably.
So he does infectious disease and primary care, which is probably what you need.
But yeah, so it's all throat. It started all throat last time I got sick, and then it became congestion and everything else.
That's
so
what happens when
so I apologize if you hear me speaking differently, or if I'm constantly clearing up my throat.
Do you want to?
I can't talk with a lozenge in my mouth. Or if you get the exciting thing, we'll start a new segment. If I actually hawk up phlegm.
I'll vomit.
Well, all right, then we'll turn the camera and it can show both of us hawking up. But here, this is. Oh, stop this.
What do you
There it is. So this is Joyce wants to share some of the adorable photos that I've taken.
That's a cinematic photo it made.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Look what happens to the shopping cart.
See, it made you shopping. It's a cinematic photo, which is made. Google makes photos for me.
Here we go. Look.
Woo! See, I think you know why you're not feeling well.
Well,
I'll tell you exactly why. Because we were.
Oh, this is old. Because this is an old.
Best of November 22.
Oh, a year ago.
Yes, look, last year.
I like that shot.
Yeah.
That's me in the kitchen with an apron.
That's when your apron was new. Oh, there's you with the outhouses. Remember?
I love outhouses.
You do.
Well, porta potties more, yeah.
Oh, I wish we could find that school again. That was a nice park.
I know. Oh, there's
Oh,
Axolotl.
when we first got him. Oh, look at you driving the train at Wegmans. Remember, you were a big boy. Oh,
What's that?
at the park with G, me helping G.
Oops, can't show, but
Thank you.
that's the woman I'm married to. And that's the bag of chips that I'm married to, the matzo chips.
I want to show you the.
Yeah.
I want to show you not the feces.
So actually, I should get a container for any phlegm gobs
This
that come
is
up.
why you didn't, because you didn't follow the advice we prescribed with the man in the giant supermarket.
No, actually, I want to set this up. Because remember, back when we were growing up, there were a zillion magazines.
Oh, yeah.
So you would go to the newsstands and you would see People and House and Garden, Good Housekeeping.
Women's World, Women's Day.
The women's service books, they used to call them.
Oh, really?
Women's service books.
I didn't know that.
Playboy. Well, you wouldn't see Playboy necessarily, but you might see
Better Homes and Gardens.
Yes. Road and Track.
A lot Time Life, like
yes,
that kind of
Car Driver.
Yeah, more
Vogue.
Elle.
They're the fashion books.
Yeah.
So and now it's gotten to the point where I was looking 2 months ago for the
TV Guide, honey.
Right, the season preview issue of the TV Guide. And you cannot find the TV Guide anymore in your basic.
Do you have to buy it online?
Yeah, you can get it on eBay for like $10, $12 if I really want one. But you're supposed to be getting it, you're supposed to pass by, see it on the.
But David, who has TVs anymore?
Exactly.
I mean,
everybody has TVs, but they just don't have.
Yeah, smart TV.
Or the channels. There's no point for them to know what's on TBS or what's on channel 57 or something. So there's no TV. And really, it's amazing to see there are still magazines in supermarket checkout aisles.
I think they're made for like doctors' offices when you're waiting for people and and you need to look at something.
And or there are these books that are very glossy, so you'll still get some fashion.
Like Best
cookbooks.
of Baltimore, or they have like like a Women's World Guide to Exercise. Yeah, they make or they have Sudoku or Reader's Digest, like those.
That's Reader's Digest. You don't even So they still make those, and you can still get them readily. Even though the amount of space for hard copy magazines is gone.
Put a bookmark in this. I was on Facebook for something else, and there's the last few days of Meatloaf at Mission. They announced its last couple days of Meatloaf. Because I don't know when it just hit me. So put a pin in that for later.
Which means probably next week they start a new Black Plate special.
Because they said they call it Grandma's mashed potatoes and something, and someone's like, keep their sweet potatoes. And sometimes in my feed, I guess I must have typed it for you, Mission, because they're like, oh, it's the last few days. Get your heaping platefuls, last few days of Meatloaf.
Wow. This is exciting. So things that are and I don't miss. I mean, the meatloaf I tried. I had a little piece of it. It was very good, but I've ranted about this
and you said not turkey. They did so far. We know they did shrimp. We know they did 2 of the prime rib beefs, right? Yes. We know they did.
What else did they do?
A cheeseburger.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I think, what do you think it's going to be? Make a prediction.
Channel. I'm trying to think. What else?
You want me to get some sauce? You can smear yourself some Carolina hot sauce.
It would be lovely if they took one of the ribs and but they wouldn't. It's one of their, or even a brisket thing. I don't know.
You tell me they switch it
every 6 weeks or so.
Yeah. So they're not going to do turkey because they're going to have special holiday turkey meals, right?
Good. But
I'm sorry.
Maybe they'll do chicken.
I don't think they're going to do chicken. Chicken's too close to turkey, so I don't think they would do a chicken dish right next to a turkey dish.
Now, if they bring back a different kind of rib steak,
I think maybe.
I will sleep on their front door.
I just think for them, it's good marketing. If that's what people like.
Well, if what's what people like.
The rib steak, you gotta market.
Well, no, the problem was, and I have to say this.
Yeah.
When I would go to Mission Barbecue, if you've never heard of it.
Maybe they do it at dinner. You went for lunch. Maybe people got that for dinner.
Oh, I don't know. I think the Black Plate Special is Black Plate Special.
But I mean, maybe people don't want to eat.
Oh, for lunch they don't want to have a big old steak. So they come for ribs.
They get the steak and stuff is more for evening, like dinner, and maybe lunchtime people order rib.
That could be.
You talk to the kids. They're nice kids. Ask
I
them.
should ask them because it always surprised me. I'm like, this is for $13. They have not prime rib, but a ribeye steak.
And
They did this twice.
Will it prevent inflammation?
I wish. But here's the deal. And they did this for 6 weeks, and then another 6 weeks, and I'm in there, and I'm like, yes, ribeye me. Now everybody else is buying brisket.
The second one was espresso. What was the first one?
Well, the first one was Hawaiian with a little bit of a sweet, pineapple. It was good.
Yeah.
And then they did an espresso rubbed rib steak, which was also good.
Let's see.
But I still felt like I was the only person. Actually, everybody else was buying ribs
David,
or a brisket sandwich.
I think it's at lunch. I really believe like that's more of a dinner. So for me, like I don't eat meat, but if I were to go to a barbecue place for lunch, I would get ribs. For dinner, I'd get a steak. I wouldn't eat a steak at lunch. It's heavy for me.
Well, all right.
I'm different, but I don't eat.
Yeah, people who have steak and eggs for breakfast.
No, I know, but I would think that that's more of like a
I get it.
You know, like a dinner time thing, especially like. I mean, they're known for their ribs, right? So like people probably. When you go to a barbecue place, you don't think of like a prime rib, you think of ribs, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I took you away from your inflammation talk.
Right. So here's, well, talking about magazines. So, we go all over the place on Dave's Come By. That's sort of the point. But here's the deal. I was talking about how back in the day, you would go to the supermarket, you'd go to Barnes & Noble or whatever, there'd just be go.
Let's circle back to that.
Yes.
Let's circle back to that.
You go and they would have all these different magazines, right? Did you hear the squeak in that? Or did I just hear it?
When the seasons change, it is time to change. When the seasons
I've never heard that.
change,
What is that?
That's what they sang on the Brady Bunch when I think Peter, one of them went there. They were singing they were doing singing like a TV special, and they were all singing as a group, and then he went through puberty. And he had the lead song, right?
Oh no!
And then he was like, and then so they said he would sing the song, "When the seasons change, it is time to change."
When the seasons change, I get it.
And then it was in honor of changing.
I really should take off my testicular cuff because that's kind of squeezing them and making them.
No, I think you just you're fine, honey. You're completely fine.
So.
You're doing good, Papa.
Well, no, I'm gonna get through. I don't know if we're gonna do a 3-hour show today. Most likely not.
What I think you should do is maybe steam yourself on the show. I could get your steamer.
Oh, my steam. Yeah, it's right by my desk. But not right now. Let's talk about it maybe before you go.
And the pictures. Show the picture.
Well, yeah. All right. Yeah. Here's the. I gotta get back on the.
Would you want to also explain your picture with the robot that you?
Right. That's on my Facebook page that I put. But let's do one at a time.
There's another one in there too. So you have two. You may want to explain the context of it. People want to know why you're posing with the robot, right?
Yeah.
I would want to know. I
still want to know it. But first, since we talked about this, at our local, one of our local supermarkets, they still have a few magazines. But do they have TV Guide? Do they have?
No, they have better.
Good Housekeeping? Do they have House and Garden? Do they have travel? Do they have? I don't even know what some of the other.
Farm and Tractor.
Remember, there was Entertainment Weekly. I think some of these are still around. People, Time. I mentioned Vogue. I mentioned Elle. You mentioned
Star, The Enquirer.
Oh, those two. Those are more newspaper. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
You made a friend.
Now this is one of the greatest things ever.
Oh, with that cheese, the man had espresso cheese. Remember?
Well,
you were fascinated by his cheese. That's how this all started.
There was a guy while we were waiting to check out at the supermarket.
He bought Gatorade.
Yeah, he seemed like a cool dude. He seemed like I was like, since we were waiting there because there was someone ahead of us who was taking like forever.
No, they had a price checker chicken.
Right, as it were. And that's not a metaphor. They had to price check.
They did have to price check.
Yeah.
She bought a slab of chicken. You know how people do this. Somebody put the wrong slab of chicken in the wrong thing, so she thought it was the sale chicken.
Oops.
But it was, instead of being like $5, it was like $15.
Right.
And she was like, why is it $15? And then they had to go back and find out what happened.
And if you're a woman, you do not want to wind up with the wrong cock.
No, it was chicken.
Right, well, it's a little chicken joke there.
Chicken humor.
Joke, yeah. Little chicken humor. Anyway, so there's this guy behind us, and he's got the weirdest assortment of things that he is purchasing. Not ever, but he had Gatorade.
He had like chips.
Right.
He had like broccoli. He had like 7 pounds of different cheeses.
Well, no, he had like this very cool looking espresso specials
Yeah.
cheese that thing. So it was like this mix of the lowest common like white trash
Yes.
food mixed with like gourmet cheese.
Yes.
And I couldn't help myself because we were stuck waiting. So I'm like, dude, how? And he said,
Yeah.
well, I've got company. I've got people coming over. This is not for me. This is for the cheese is mine. You know, the Gatorade is not, and this is not. So he was very cool. And then I started goofing because on the checkout line, where the magazines were, did I find my TV Guide? Did I find, film comment or Cahiers du Cinema? Do I find any? No. But I find a magazine called Living with Inflammation, ladies and gentlemen. I know I would subscribe 12, maybe even 24 times a year to Living with Inflammation.
I'm going to put the other one so you can see your robot friend.
It'd be great if that were a fashion magazine, though. It'd be great if they just have all these models.
This is how you did shopping that day.
Oh, this was my little cart at the supermarket.
Yes.
Yay.
And let's find your little robot friend. Here's your inflammation magazine.
Robot would be later than that. Robot was like the last thing
later?
we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Look at you. Okay. So this is the picture you showed.
Well, I also. No. Let's show that. Let's show that.
Okay. Yeah, they're just.
Now you found that on Facebook, on the interwebs,
So
or
this
Twitter.
is your little friend. This is when you met him.
You don't want to do that later because that's a Thanksgiving
Well,
thing.
you can go back and scroll
all right.
through. Yeah.
Wait, not yet. There it goes. Hold on. Here we go.
Yes.
Somebody tweeted this because you do because this if somebody made this.
Well, let me just say this.
Or nailed it.
Let me just say this. So people who decorate cookies and cakes in stores do not receive extensive training on like artistic design. They're more like nailed it than Bake Off,
Yes.
Right? So they're more like nailed. So you got to give people credit for trying to.
So this is from a store. This wasn't somebody made this.
This is a store. They were in a store and they found this in like one of the the big box grocery stores. Correct.
All right. So for Thanksgiving. They wanted to show.
I guess you're thankful for something, but.
Yeah. And this is even. I mean, I couldn't say if they wanted to make this a peacock, so it's so colorful, but it's a turkey head.
It's something.
With a plumage.
It's something. It's something.
And this is a cake that they make for Thanksgiving.
Yes, to give thanks.
In a store for people. I would buy this. I don't know if I would eat this.
I don't. Well, if you're desperate.
This is real.
What do the comments say?
Can you read? Hold on. Let's show this.
Picture. So it says. Let me see. Pull back. It says not sure if this is supposed to be a turkey or if it's a turd in a ring of fire.
I'm going for a turd in a ring of fire, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that is a beautiful, beautiful cake right there. Now, if you saw that, would you?
I'd buy it for you.
You would buy it for me. Would you eat it though? If you
If it was tasty, I mean, if it tastes like crap, I mean, I'm
no,
not
and you will
gonna
not.
eat it.
Yeah.
But if it was really good quality, like sometimes like the big box stores, I'll tell you, I've had baked goods. Like my graduate students used to bring it in when I was in Colorado, like for night classes.
Yeah.
And some of those baked goods were absolutely delicious.
Sure.
Like they had the sheet cakes, the muffins, the cookies. Like they have really good bakeries. So I don't. If it tasted good, I would eat it, but I'd have to get over the fact that
it looks like a
duty.
duty.
The part that looks like a duty.
You wouldn't eat that?
No, I would
that might be
save
the chocolate part.
I would save that part. It looks like someone squished it out from a like that.
Which is what you kind of do with a duty, if you think about it.
Show them your little.
Well, here's so, but now this also requires a story. So I've been wanting to try a Japanese restaurant that is in an area where we shop like once a week.
Yes.
And usually because that area includes Mission Barbecue.
You're conflicted.
Yeah, we come out of shopping. I'm like, do I want to go to the Japanese place for a little bit of like appetizer thing,
Tell them
or do I need a rib? What
pushed you to the Japanese places? They sent a menu in some kind of mailer, and you got to see the menu physically of all the different foodies. And I think that kind of swayed you because you're like, look at all these different foodies.
And it fools you too because it seems very reasonably priced.
Yes.
Because on this flyer, like everything on that flyer is $6.88. So they say. I mean, it's not quite the same in the store, but it's $6.88 for this, but it's dim sum.
Yeah.
So all these things are basically appetizer size.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
You're not going to get a whole meal. And so you're still spending, ultimately, like if you want to buy 3 appetizers that will really fill you, suddenly you're spending like $22, $25.
Yeah.
But. So now that Mission has been on its meatloaf kick, like literally a bag out of hell on a meatloaf
You've
kick.
gone rogue. You've gone so rogue. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I really don't need to go to Mission. I mean, I can still get ribs there, but I'm not gonna. They don't have my special.
Yes, your love. Yeah.
Let's try Izakaya. It's called Izakawa or Izakaya 68, I think is the name of it.
We gotta
Izakaya.
go there for your birthday because they'll sing to you.
Well, here's the deal. The other thing that Joyce knew about this that I did not.
No, I didn't know. My colleague at work told me. She was like, I said, I want to. My spouse is thinking of going there because everybody I work with is from here. Most people are from here.
Yeah.
Like majority. So I'm like, give me a good restaurant, give me a good whatever. And these are really smart people. So they give me good. They're like, so I write it down, like the Oregon Trail, like whatever. So she was like, oh, David will love it because they have robots that bring you the food, and it's really fun. And she's
Please
like,
repeat that part.
she said, David will love it. They have robots that bring you the food. It's really fun. And on your birthday, I don't know for other occasions, but on your birthday, they sing happy birthday.
When the waiters or the robots?
Robot.
The robot sings!
Yes, that's what show I was telling you. Yes, and your birthday's coming soon, sooner than mine.
Yeah, my birthday's in a month and a half.
Yes.
2 months, but still,
cool.
yeah.
Maybe they could get a little team of robots.
Well, it's my 60th birthday, so they damn well better. If I survive this cold, I want to be sung to by robots.
Yes.
So and they're very cute. It reminds me, remember that old, amazing what we think of as old now, but it's probably 40 years old, of Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy were in it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It was about like AI back then. Yeah.
Back then, so it was War Games.
Yeah.
War Games was the name.
But he was cute, David. He almost ran you over though, but he was cute.
Well, the robot in there was cute. You dance with me, Stephanie. Right. This in a restaurant is zooming around like a Roomba with eyes.
But he'll bring you food, which is what we like in life.
Yes. So it's got it's hard to see, but it's got shelves for its back. So the front is a cute little thing with eyes.
I should have taken the back picture. Yeah. In the back, there were people's foodies.
Yeah, and the front has got the eyeballs. It winks. It blinks.
Yeah.
And then it'll go. There's no human next to it. Yeah. It will go around the restaurant on its little wheels
and stop. Yeah.
Stop at a table where there's food, and I think you take the food.
Says anything like Bon appetit or something. I don't know.
That's why I'm surprised that they sing, because I didn't hear it ever say Bon appetit or whatever Japanese thing.
But we didn't hear. I mean, we didn't really follow them.
Well, I was standing there for like 15 minutes, kind of watching when we would go to a table.
Okay.
One or two of them almost, like they literally came right at me. This is what's going to happen with AI and robots. We're going to kill ourselves with our own robots. Because I am standing there, waiting for the food to take out. And there's a robot coming from the kitchen, because I can see where the kitchen is at. And there's a robot goes, not making an actual noise, but just kind of coming along. You hear the wheels. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. His eyeballs open, he blinks and winks.
And then he's like, out of my way, you!
He's coming at me. I'm like, I'm standing here. And I'm like getting out of the way of it.
Good, you're smart.
Well,
you could get an ouchie.
It should get out of the way of me.
It probably has like a little sensor. It wouldn't hit you.
No, it would. I know it would veer off.
Let it hit you. You might get a free skewer of pork or something.
That's right. I was damaged by your robot.
If it hits you, just grab the food on the robot and start eating it.
So sue the place for $50,000. It went over my foot.
I'm sure they program them how to do stuff, but it was really cute. We'll definitely go back. You loved
they did because they have a mix between the sushi and cooked fish and also other Japanese appetizer things. So there was chicken kind of skewer stuff that was. I wasn't in the mood for chicken, but it was actually really, really good.
It wasn't a skewer. It was like chicken balls, like breaded balls.
But they were straight. They were like curly.
Yeah. But it wasn't like.
It wasn't balls.
No, but it wasn't like chicken like on a rotisserie or
something.
But
if it was on a stick and you pulled it off, that's what it would be.
You love the sauce.
It was good. Oh yeah.
I told one of my friends at school, because she loves fish. Like she loves she would be pescatarian, and I said, "You had what is it, whitefish?"
No, it was yellowtail.
Oh, okay.
It was
Some
sashimi
sauce,
grade
yeah.
yellowtail in a sauce. If I tell you,
You loved it.
I was licking the.
You put the sauce on the chicken. Yeah, the sauce on everything.
Yeah. I put the sauce on my nipples and begged people to come and taste.
We
I
should
did.
get you some. We can get some tomorrow.
I could. I might
Today,
very well.
if you want.
So a very happy experience with me and my new robot buddies, because I have about 3 or 4 of them there. Here's another picture of. Well, here he is. This is before he came at me.
David, they don't turn like demon, you know.
He's a RoboCop.
I love it. Very cute. Let's see. I want to see if there's any more pictures of stuff. That's my defunct dad.
So even though
I can't believe this picture I took while he was moving. This robot did not stop. It was moving.
well, he's on his way to deliver. Yeah.
How I got that picture with this beautiful lighting. My phone's camera is pretty swell.
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. So yeah, exciting week for old Dave. Meeting a robot friend at a Japanese restaurant. That was pretty much it for the exciting and finding the. Oh, speaking of that turd turkey.
Yeah,
Just me on what it looks like. I've discovered something that made me a little bit sad. What are you looking for, man?
The turd.
Oh, I got up here. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, not really related to him, but remember we were watching. And speaking of barbecue, we were watching that series of barbecue competitions.
Yeah, like I'm doing it for Bubba, that one.
Right. Do you remember?
It's like I'm doing it for big hunky Bubba, Big Bubba.
I now remember who it was.
Who?
Big Worm.
How did you remember that?
I wouldn't have. So on this competition,
I have a feeling something bad happened.
there was this big Bubba kind of dude, and he said, yeah, well, you know, I'm dedicating all my grilling on this competition on this show
Bubba.
to my late friend Big Worm.
Yeah. Oh, Big Worm.
Big Worm. You know, he was a great guy. He was a great dude, and he really taught me everything I know about smoked barbecue. And this was for Big Worm. And Joyce and I were in hysterics because the idea of having a friend named Big Worm, right?
Yeah.
So and I totally forgot.
Why would you call somebody Worm? Like I could see like Big Bear, any animal, but a worm is maybe slow.
But here's the deal.
Big turtle.
But what made me depressed me this week?
He's fake.
No, well, no.
It's not a real person. There's no Big Worm.
But for one of the courses that I teach this week, I teach a film class, and a lot of the movies for the class were given to me by the chair of the department because he taught this course years ago. Wait.
No.
Like I say, I'd like to keep. Actually, it's not. It would be a compliment, but I don't know. He's a gay man. I don't know.
Oh, maybe Big Worm means.
No. Well, I don't know what it means, but one of the films that was on the syllabus that I received, and that I could monkey with, but not too much, was the 1995 urban comedy Friday with Ice Cube. It was Chris Tucker's
is that where
first.
The name Big Worm comes from?
One of the main characters is Big Worm. I thought they made it up. I thought it was just like weird, ridiculous Southern thing.
What's the character like?
I'm trying to remember who was what in that. He might have been the really bad,
scary
scary guy with the fucked up eye. And you know,
so maybe his old friend Big Worm resembled that character.
It probably
That's
did.
not something you want to resemble, it seems.
No, because he's a really bad guy.
It's not a compliment.
Yeah. But also, well, no, because if Big Worm is the character I'm thinking of, Big Worm is like 280 pounds. 7 foot tall, kicks the shit out of it until at the end he has the shit kicked out of him.
No, but he might be a man. I think the Big Worm.
So they saw Fridays and they took the name or Friday.
No, but Big Worm died of or it could be a common Southern. We don't know. It could be a common Southern name.
I'm guessing they just liked the movie Friday and grabbed it.
Well, I don't know. Big Worm. I mean, you gotta have a girth and height to be Big
Worm. Well, that's the guy. I'm guessing that this fella was like, Big Worm, you know, go do your thing. But anyway, so little tiny bit of disappointment there.
There must be a storm cloud in every.
I know. But anyway, the clouds are happy here in the Daverhood today. It is. I don't think I even mentioned this. It's Saturday, November 18th, 2023, and you are, believe it or not, watching the 918th episode of The Dave's Gone By Facebookio, podcastio of the stream. Conmigo, Dave Lefkowitz, and my darling and adorable esposa, Joyce. Been doing this show since 2002, when we were doing it on terrestrial radio, a late night radio program. Then we went to internet radio, then we went to college radio, and now for the past, 5 years or so, we've been a video podcast right here on Facebook. And again, I apologize for several frogs that are in my throat right now. I've got another minor, I hope it stays minor cold, no fever. I can't imagine that this is COVID. It's just, the season, the being a little run down and overworked, just, I've become Mr. 90-year-old man, phlegm gob man. I'll get up in the morning, whatever, 6 o'clock in the morning on some days that I have to teach, and I'll, putter around downstairs, make a coffee, make a tea for Joyce, and then Joyce, when she gets up, she'll start talking to me, and I'll talk back. And the moment I start talking back, the moment I loosen, like all the muscles in the throat and the chest to start, communicating, and like, literally like dry heaving, hunching over, coughing, and just waiting for that beautiful, beautiful yellow gob of sputum, sometimes green, to just go, and then, when I'm feeling well, when I'm feeling fine, it's like one or two little things, and I'm done. When I'm not, it's like an all-day thing. I'm like, whoop, I brought up a gob. Whoop, I brought up another gob. Whoop, here's another one. It was nice that I did an online doctor visit a few months ago when I had something like this. And, I was like, geez, what do I do? And he gave me albuterol, the first time I've ever had to use an inhaler, because I was actually having trouble getting sentences out at a certain point. They don't have that really right now. And also he gave me, I think, that was when I saw the doctor, and then many weeks later I got a decongestant from just the local Walgreens. But where was I going with this? So, where was I going with this? Well, anyway, so, but he told me, that's what I wanted to say. If you've ever been, if you've ever worried or wondered, it's like, when I was growing up, I was told if your poo-poo, if your mucus, if your phlegm was clear, it was gray, it was normal, it was whatever. If it's yellow, there was infection in it. And if it was green, you really got some serious infection going on. I mean, it's like, bleh, right? And then this doctor said, it really doesn't work that way. I don't know if you knew this. It really doesn't work this way. Yellow, green, they're both. Some people do yellow, some people do green. If you're Rothko, it's a bit of brown with patches of red. It's the color of the phlegm isn't really that indicative of what's going on. It's just phlegm. It just sits there. You gotta bring it up. You gotta expectorate it, and then you get on with your day. So that was kind of, I have to say, nice to hear, because at a certain point I'd be like, it's green giant, and I look at my handkerchief or my paper towel, and I'd be like, I made that, and that's Campbell's soup pea green right there. I must have, I don't know, I must have leprosy and AIDS together. I don't know what, and then now I can look at it and go, I got phlegm, and I probably got some more phlegm coming up and down in the old gullet. So apologies if my throat's a little off the mark, or if I can't even follow through with the typical 2.5, 3 hour show that we generally do on Saturday mornings here in the Daverhood. But we do have our regular stuff to do. We do have Greeley Times, where we go to Greeley, Colorado, where Joyce and I lived for about 13 years, and looked at the newspaper there for 2 very funny columns that were in it every week. Only one of those remains, but it's still going strong, and that's Cop Log. And we base Greeley Times on the items that they publish in Cop Log every week in the Greeley Tribune. And then we also do have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. These are getting tougher and tougher to write, because I've written about 280 of them over the past, 7 or 8 years. Just all these poems, one after the other, very short limericks, about a different town or city or municipality in the beautiful state of Colorado. So obviously, when you first start doing them, you get names like Vail and Greeley, and it's really, really easy to rhyme places like that. Longmont, not so much. Evans, okay. So, but you start looking on a map when you do bunches and bunches of these, and you're like, there's no, I can't rhyme anything with. And also you want to make them amusing. You want them to make them a little risque, a little tasteless, which is my kind of humor, and funny, and have a real legitimate rhyme where you are rhyming the name of the place as part of the three-pronged rhyme scheme of the limerick. So it gets tough. It gets a lot harder to do when you don't have something like Brush, Colorado, or I don't know, Loveland. Not so, you can tell when something is a simple rhyme or rhymes with orange. But I did it today. I did it one more time. Today we go to Columbine, Colorado. Columbine, not easy, folks. Columbine, Colorado. I have a limerick of the damned for you. And of course, Columbine will tell you a little bit about it, and even one or two things that you didn't know that have nothing to do with the horrible school shooting there, like 2 decades ago. It's like, no, there's more to the town. It's really part of the Denver metro area anyway. But we will have, for our Colorado limerick of the damned, Columbine. I'm just going to grab my tea. Columbine, Colorado. Then we did Montezuma like 2 weeks ago, didn't we? Oh, I didn't change it? Oops.
On the Facebook it says Montezuma.
I probably didn't change it from last week. That's my mistake.
What's today?
Today's Columbine.
Oh no, you have Montezuma.
All right. Well, I can't change it now. I grabbed the old template.
I'm alerting you.
Alert.
What's the severe weather alert?
Where? What?
Here.
Severe weather alert.
Avoid the subject event as per instructions.
Okay. I mean, the alert is if bits of my phlegm come flying out of my mouth at the camera.
Wildfires. See, that's what Caitlin, my friend, said.
Yeah.
That there's a risk of wildfires, not by us, but remember I told you she had trouble, like she had. Yeah. So she said, like, I didn't know that she needed, like, she had trouble, like, with, like, pollutants, and she said, you should wear your mask on a day like today, and I said, why? And she said, because of the fire pollutants. Yeah. And then she was right. It came up, so yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't. But where's the fires coming from? Are they from this state?
Yeah.
Or are they down from Canada
again?
Northern
part of the county.
Oh, my.
But I don't know.
We are in the northern part of the county. Alert. Because in case you didn't know, Joyce and I moved to northern Baltimore about 1.5 years ago. And so we've been, we did the show in New York many years, then we were in Colorado, and now we're in quite lovely northern Baltimore, unless, of course, it burns down. So, because that was the thing, hon. Both of us last night, Joyce and I, we couldn't sleep most of the night because we were parched. The air was so unbelievably dry.
Weather alerts.
Yeah.
She mentioned, so I don't know all the words she uses, but there's some kind of like, it's not a Doppler, but it's like a Doppler that they use, but they use it to measure air quality.
And ours is probably pretty bad right now. Looks beautiful out.
Advisory. Okay. Oh crap! Don't give me that. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Sure.
Elevated weather. She told me like 2 days later we'll hear it. She was right. Elevated fire weather conditions are expected this afternoon, northern and central Virginia, all of the areas near us, Maryland, District of Columbia. This covers all areas east of the Allegheny front. Relative humidity values are expected to drop to 25 to 35%. Lowest in Shenandoah Valley. Winds will be out of the northwest. Fuel moisture, it says.
Excuse me.
Residents and visitors are urged to exercise caution handling open flames or things that create a spark.
Wow. Yeah, but that was the thing. Maybe it's just the air is so unbelievably dry. It's
no
crackling.
Burning. I'm not sure.
Sure.
I didn't ask her where to look, but I know she said like, oh, you need to look at blah 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 blah. You know, there's a place you can look for this stuff. Like,
Actually, can you look up something for me? I would appreciate it. What is
Yeah.
relative humidity?
What is relative humidity?
They have a moist cousin.
Relative humidity. The amount of water vapor present in air expressed as a percentage of the amount needed for saturation at the same temperature.
So isn't that humidity?
I don't know. What's the meaning of relative? It says it's relative to the temperature in the air. So it's moisture vapor relative to temperature. So it's not just moisture in the air, it's relative to temperature.
Got it.
That's
Relative
right.
humidity. I was always wondering about that. It's like, just give me what is relative to what?
It says, what does it mean, 80% relative humidity? I don't know. I'm not going to.
Well, it depends, I guess, on
What's
how
the
high.
difference between humidity and relative?
Here we go.
Humidity ratio is how much air is in air versus the amount of water. Relative humidity, on the other hand, takes the humidity ratio and includes air temperature. So
All right.
I don't understand it, but
Well, I guess if it's 90% humidity
it's just
on a 40-degree day, it feels different from a 90 humidity on a hot day.
it blows my mind because my colleague is an environmentalist, right? That's what she studies.
Yeah.
And she literally said to me, she said, there's probably a fire somewhere. She thought Pittsburgh, or maybe somewhere like
It makes sense,
Harrisburg or
Pittsburgh.
something, no, Harrisburg or something.
Yeah.
And she said, we're going to hear, like, she told me this on Thursday. And she said, in 2 or 3 days, we're going to hear about a fire somewhere that's making this. Because remember in Colorado, we had the wildfires where you smelt the smoke and she's, because I told her you were having, trouble with your breathing stuff. And she said, I have the same and I haven't had it in years. And she said, there's a fire somewhere. Because they have all those measurement equipments that do measure I don't know the language, but it's like, they measure the air quality, particulate, and she said something's brewing.
Actually, that's how the Doppler sounds. When it goes
That's the official.
only the Doppler 9000, not the 5000 though. Yeah. Tapakata. So what else before we get to Greeley Times? So I talked about Big Worm. I talked about the Japanese restaurant.
I looked through my pictures. I think that's all I have pictures of.
Yeah, no. What do? We teach and we grade. This is our lives. This is what we do.
This weekend, I want to get one class done because I have 2 classes coming in tonight at 11:50.
Oh, please! I've got my Thanksgiving is going to be just pure sitting at the computer grading and doing syllabi for next semester. It's brutal. It's going to be awful.
Yeah, me too.
Just so much for. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for when I can sleep. Is what I'm thankful for.
Melvin's can help.
Melvin G. Mintz.
Maybe if you
our
had
icon.
Maybe if you had less inflammation, you might.
As is true. Well, I dialed 311, which is the number for inflammation. That's a little no, didn't really do it. What else? What else is there?
Cute. That's all I can say.
Thank you. What else is there to before we get to Greeley Times, because we do want to get to what's been happening.
Did you want to talk about the flea market we went to? Because
I wish there was something to say. Well, you can. What? It was a nice school-based.
Oh, I got the ring, the beautiful ring.
Yeah.
And
are you not wearing? Oh, no, you can't show it.
I wear it today. I don't want to ruin it in the weekend. On the weekend, I wear less jewelry, but
No, but there was an annual thrift store, thrift sale. Yeah.
No, the food truck. What did you eat?
What did I eat?
Go Greek.
Yes, thank you for sharing.
Remember?
So
like that. This is called queuing. I'm queuing.
Yeah, thank you. So last weekend,
Yes.
we did have, instead of the usual typical little bullshit church bazaar things and the little tiny yard sales, there's like
There's
a
one
big
tomorrow.
thrift sale. That's a regular yard sale. Well, I'll check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But this was like a thing. We're taking over the local middle school, right? On a weekend. Well, they were with lots of tables and lots of vendors and bake sales and
I'm just gonna charge my phone. I gotta get the charger.
a lot of Christmas stuff, but not overrun with Christmas
No, but
crap.
it was more of like what you could think of as like a professional level with a lot of vendors.
Right.
The whole school had it was it wasn't like a church auditorium. It was like the whole school. The whole first floor had
Right, 3 different rooms, the gymnasium,
yes, exactly.
and then the hallway they did. It was kind of like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff to look at, which for me is a lot more. It's like, oh, cool.
Well, it was unusual because we hadn't seen the woman who made stickers and stuff. Like there was a lot.
Yeah. Well, and we didn't buy a whole hell of a lot of stuff, but it was fun to look, right?
Mhm.
You know, people working in wood
Yeah.
frame table things, and so Joyce actually found a piece of jewelry made
Yeah.
out of like glossed paper.
It was paper that she kind of put paint on and then shellacked. It's very delicate. Yeah.
Very, very nice stuff. And I'm just looking to look. I'm not expecting to really see anything in a place, but just to see stuff, just to see. Those was someone selling like old postcards. I
Well,
was like
and I
looking
got
for
a
those.
delicious tea. It was like Joy something, the card. It was like Joy coffee or Joy delicious tea, an iced tea.
Oh, good.
And we were waiting for the crepe or the crap. And then the line, they didn't move. And I'm like, I'm not going to wait for a crepe.
Well, aside from the fact that also, you know what a crepe is. A crepe is a flat pancake. It's like 2 grams of batter that you put over a very hot surface, and then you throw in a little bit of sauce on it. And it's charging like $13 for a fucking like mini, not it's long, but there's barely anything in crepe. You finish it in 2 bites, and it's done. So am I gonna really get? And they didn't have a lemon curd
And
one.
the cheeseburger truck wasn't there. Everybody was disappointed. They had a Greek food truck, a ice truck where you can make your own like cold ices, a little pizza truck.
Yeah.
And then they had the crepe
coffee
truck,
one.
and then they had the coffee truck. And there was no the cheeseburger one didn't show up or the hamburger. And then there was a rumor inside started by the ladies that there was a cupcake food truck, but there wasn't.
No, there was not. There was not.
Well, maybe the coffee truck had cupcakes. We didn't know.
But also, if you went in, and I did this, they had, and I supported this, they had young girls selling pastries for the drama club. So I'm like, sure. I got a little ass cupcake for $2. I'm like, you know, it supports the drama club. I'm down with. So I get that, and I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna wait for a stupid crepe, especially since they didn't really have. They have banana and strawberry. You can't have bananas, and you don't like strawberries. You're allergic. So what are we gonna wait for something like that?
I know.
And pay $13. But they also had next to it a Greek truck. And you can tell it was Greek because you had to go in the back way. But you, thank you. So what did I have? You know, and I think
You
they
had a boneless leg of lamb.
Yes, that was nuts.
They gave you like it was like I don't know, maybe they had a lot of lamb, but they gave you like a pound of lamb and a pita.
Because instead of a gyro, a hero,
it was a full
they literally
lamb.
took like a hunk of leg of lamb,
stuffed
it into
chops, because they had lamb chops. They had. I guess most people wanted like more traditional, but it was a boneless leg of lamb pita. Yeah,
I mean, I was kind of expecting more about chunks and whatever everything, but basically they this like giant leg of, and I was you know, it was,
you loved it.
Come on.
And it was hot. It was fresh.
It was. I mean, Joyce was a vegetarian. She couldn't eat from there, so we gave to a bagel somewhere. Or is that what we usually do? I don't remember what we did that day. But I was so happy to find that Greek truck. And if I ever find it again, I'm getting the lamb chops. I'm getting.
I'm sure that if we could track it, we should have taken. I took a picture. Oh wait, let me see.
Oh, did you?
No, but I don't know. I'll just tell you this, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times these trucks have a lot of marketing on them, so that when you take the picture, you can. What would you say? You can market them. You can.
Well, you can Facebook and
I took a picture of you. It was after the AA thing, right?
AA.
After the AAA.
Oh yeah. No, that was just last week. It was.
No, I don't see it. I don't see. I thought I took a picture of you.
Maybe not. It's all right. It was meant to be that one special. It was a magical Greek truck that only shows up once a year at the thrift store, and they stuff giant hunks of lamb into a pita.
Phone?
I do. I don't know if he took it. I don't have it with me now.
Okay, because it might be on your phone. That's the only other place.
But
did you want to also share? There's another picture you want.
What picture? Oh, on my phone, you mean?
Or... on my phone. I'll get your phone. You made a new friend.
Oh!
Yeah.
We didn't even mention this.
See, I thought I took a picture, David.
I don't recall if we did take a picture of that.
I thought I took a picture. Like a lady was taking a picture of the menu, and I thought I took a picture.
I think I was on the fence or near on a bench eating or something. But there's also this. Is it in my pants? Sorry, my throat. So this happened also, and this just happened, I think, yesterday. We come out of the store, and nearby the store is a place where we want to get coffee and you know, Joyce gets her tea and stuff. But along the strip mall, and I talked about this last time, are some of the weirdest combinations of stores together that you've ever seen in your life. Because a lot of strip malls, you know, you'll have a big box, you'll have a Kohl's, you'll have a little market, then you'll have, okay, you can take, all right, you can take it. But one after another, this particular sort of strip mall area has a place for scented candles, a nut company, place that makes like gift nuts. All right, got it. Next to, I swear to you, a tube bending concern. This is what they do. They sell and make and perhaps repair bent tubes. And next to that is, and I think this is the scented candle place. For whatever reason, the woman, this has nothing to do with scented candles.
No, it's not scented candles. They make soap and it's made from cow's milk.
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
So this is her mascot outside
Yeah.
outside the store. Just this
And
giant,
she had
enormous.
a cat on the leash that
Yeah.
had cow colors called Darla.
Yeah. So literally, we noticed. I think we saw the cat first, and then looked up and saw the cow.
Well, we've seen the cow before because that's where we get.
I haven't seen the cow before.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
How can I not run and take a picture with the cow?
Because you always say you want to dress like the cow.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, anyway, here I am, next to this beautiful cow that is outside the store. Thank you for taking that picture, dear. I think I took another one. Oh, here he is. And it's pretty lifelike in a picture. It's actually a fake
And they say
cow.
for like holiday time they dress him up, so he's got a whole kit and caboodle. He does look lifelike.
Yeah. So.
Always on wheels. I guess they wheel him in and out.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So that was kind of neat to take a picture with a giant.
It's called
cow.
Milk Reclamation Barn. Let me look it up.
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah.
Milk Reclamation Barn. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna look, honey. You do.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just taking a little tea break
It says
here.
they do make. They repurpose a repurposed dairy barn. We have crafted the finest. Oh, they do candles.
They make candles out of doo-doo?
No, not doo-doo.
That'd be cool to make candles out of excrement and call them dungles.
I don't understand that.
And obviously we take away the smell, or you would mask the smell with some other scent. But what a cool thing to repurpose crap and use it for lighting around the bathtub.
It was just that they started in a dairy barn. That's why they call it repurpose. I'm not understanding it, so.
All right. Well, anyway, milk reclamation. Anywho, you're watching Dave's Gone By, live on this Saturday, November 18th, 2023. It's our 918th episode of the show. If you want to know more about the program, ordinarily I would tell you to go to davesgoneby.com, but our site is fucking down again. Thank you, Bluehost. So they're working through it and trying to figure out why. I can get into the back end, but nothing else works on the site. Who knows? Who knows? But all our archives are in other places. You can watch all our stuff at archive.org. Archive.org. This is a not-for-profit website devoted to combining and gathering art, entertainment, literature from the past 20,000 years. Whatever is public domain.
Wow.
And they can get their hands on. So it can be literature. It can be a Charles Dickens book that you can literally read online, like Gutenberg Press online, or copies of paintings, full movies and old radio shows, assuming that the copyrights have expired. All of these things at archive.org. Well, we, with their permission, on Dave's Gone By, have a channel on archive.org.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah. So every show we've ever done, plus every interview that we have ever done, are on two different parts of our channel.
Would you like to see Darla?
Who's Darla? The cow?
The two cats, yeah.
Oh, cats, yeah. So archive.org, or if you're into podcasting,
It's okay.
you can go find the MP3, which is at castbox.fm. Castbox.fm. So this is like if you don't want to watch this,
No,
ill
if
face.
you want to listen to, let's say, like our friend used to listen to it while he was doing remote work, or if you're in the car. Like one of the women in a committee I was on yesterday, she drives an hour and a half to get to school. And I said, what do you listen to? And she said, podcasts. And I said, why don't you listen to a book? Why do you think she likes podcasts?
Actually, well, it's conversation rather than somebody reading
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
She said, when it's somebody reading something, I get a little bit schlifty baba.
Oh.
But like when I hear people talking, it's the conversation I have to follow. So a lot of people like listening to podcasts in their car for that.
I get it.
That banter, so they could, so they don't like zone out. So I think your podcast is really suited for
driving.
I didn't never thought.
It never occurred to me because I've been listening now to instead of music in the car whenever I can. I do audiobooks. I try not to fall asleep to the audiobooks, but it's kind of neat.
Listen to weird stuff like people talking about blue suede shoes.
Well, no, weird. That was Bob Dylan's book. It was Bob Dylan reading, and all these other stars reading because God forbid Bob Dylan should read cover to cover his own book. So he reads he does about 25% of the book, and then they get people like Kate Blanchett and Renee Zellweger and Steve Buscemi and John Goodman to read chapters from his book.
When you think about
What?
Who do you think about?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, did they launch the? I'm reading to see if they launched SpaceX.
Fucking Elon Musk. What about him?
No, they launched it. I didn't know if it went.
Is there anybody in the world right now who isn't an anti-Semite? I'm just curious.
No,
Anybody?
No.
Susan Sarandon, Elon Musk. Anybody?
No, I'm just interested in seeing what happened. Okay, I didn't. I thought it was the fighter, but it's okay. Okay, Whoopi.
Yeah. No. It's just what is SpaceX doing?
I have no idea. I get these random.
They're bombing Tel Aviv, I'm sure. But anyway. Oh my God, it's almost 10 o'clock Eastern time here in the Daverhood. You can also email me, davesgoneby@aol.com, davesgoneby@aol.com, and check my Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2. At the moment, we're still on Twitter because I don't know whether I hate Elon Musk enough to take my thing off. I gotta just see more of what he has actually been posting and so forth. Because I'm all for free speech, I'm all for allowing the crazies to be crazy and have them out in the open. But if you yourself are the owner and you are the crazy, then
It's very hard to understand people's rules.
I know.
David, you want?
Yeah, I'm gonna have more tea.
Drink your here.
Thank you so much.
Push it toward you.
So we still have our Colorado Limerick of the Dam to do, where we're going not to Montezuma but to Columbine. Yeah.
I think it is. I think it is Montezuma. I'm gonna look and see.
Yeah, I may have forgotten to change the thing in my latest posting on Facebook. Sorry for the blowing of the nose and the coughing and the hacking and the phlegming.
How is that different than the other day?
That's true. I should take penicillin because it's Ian Fleming. Oh, I blew the joke. Alexander Fleming. Okay, penicillin Fleming for when you're Fleming, when you're creating phlegm? No? I guess she thought that's snot funny. Little joke there. Anything?
No, I'm reading.
Excuse me. So, why don't we, it's 10 o'clock, let us get to one of the segments that we've been doing for many years now, especially since Joyce and I were living in northern Colorado for a bunch of years.
I'm looking to see.
And while we were there...
Yeah, it's Colorado Limerick of the Dam. It says it's Montezuma.
Oopsies. Oh well.
Okay.
My mistake. It's Columbine this week. But here's the Greeley Tribune. This is the actual, I never showed you the inside of the newspaper. I always show you the cover because it's so ridiculous. But here's, very typical tabloidy newspaper. This is already going back to 2019 when they were still publishing 7 days a week as opposed to 4 days a week hard copy. And they're online. But the thing about the Greeley Tribune is that it's a regular newspaper giving you news of what's happening, not in Denver, that's what the Denver Post is for, but in Evans and northern, yes, that's great, northern Colorado, places like Johnstown and Evans and Greeley
or
and
places that are more populous. Some of these places are not populous.
And not even 4 columns, because they have their own sort of paper, but just sort of that region, that northeast region of Colorado, just under Wyoming. And so the Greeley Tribune, legit, news stories of local and national import. But they also have a sense of humor there. Not enough of a sense of humor that they would have hired me to write for them, fuckers, but enough that they had two columns going for a very long time. One of them I think it was created by our friend Mike Peters.
I think so too. I think he did it.
At the Trib, was called 100 Years Ago, where he would go through the newspapers from literally 100 years earlier and, bring back things that in their day were cute or normal, and now to our modern eyes, it's like, I can't believe they published that, or that's so ridiculous, or so nostalgic and sweet. Unfortunately, nostalgic and sweet as he was, Mike Peters passed away a couple of months ago.
You did a really good. I'm looking on your Facebook, and you have a really nice interview with him. I like that a lot.
Oh, it was. Yeah, he came to the station
Yeah,
when
I
we
really
were.
like it. You're both sitting in Colorado as opposed to this.
Well, that's.
Oh,
Joyce is looking at old pictures of the show, but
Episodes, not
hold
old
on.
pictures. These are the Facebook episodes, David.
but anyway, no, I actually used that picture. Greg was already dead by the time I.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was when we were in California from a decade ago.
With Karen, we had a meal.
But excuse me. So there was that one column, and that has unfortunately disappeared from the Greeley Tribune.
So when you got the award for Gloria Gaynor, you said, "I'd like to thank God, my wife, my parents, their parents, and the guy who gives me an extra sauce container at Mission Barbecue." And you said, "Choice of 6 flavors."
Who said? Who?
You.
Wait, I don't get it.
When you got the award for the Gloria Gaynor interview, you were thanking Mission Barbecue. You should have tagged him.
I really should have. Oh my God, that's very cool. I have written a story about Gloria Gaynor that took second place in
I'm looking at your
Long
feed,
Island
that's
thing.
why.
Yeah. Anyway, but the other column that still goes on in the Greeley Tribune is called Cop Log, and it's when people call the police department asking for help.
Well,
Sometimes they need it for themselves and they don't even realize it.
sometimes they need more help than they know.
Exactly. So, these are public record. It comes into the police department. The department logs it, whoever the dispatcher is, and decides whether, I need to send a policeman, I need to report, or I think I'm just going to write this down
I
and
need to send
hang up.
somebody, but not the policeman.
Right, exactly, yeah. I'll send the guys with the butterfly nets and the white coats to deal with that caller. But they have to take it down, and it is public record. As long as you strip the identifiers, they can put it in the paper. So the funniest calls, the most ridiculous calls that come in are part of a weekly column called Cop Log in the Greeley Tribune. Well, we've been reading it and loving it for years, and we share some of the funniest ones with you on a segment that, as I said, we used to call Greeley Crimes in Old Times. Now we just call it Greeley Times. So let's have some criminality. Do you want to read them maybe today?
No, you do it, honey.
All right.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm just trying to save my throat a little bit, but I'm all right. So these are callers calling the Greeley, Colorado Police Department. For example, a caller on 25th Street was worried that his friend is being scammed by someone overseas.
Oh.
What would make him think that? His friend had sent a lot of money to someone in Turkey.
Whoopsie.
What?
Wait,
Who's telling him
Yeah.
that they're holding gold for him?
Oh, then it's not a scam. That's not a scam.
Whatever happened to trust people?
Whatever,
you know.
That's real. Come on. A lot of people are holding gold for me all over the world.
Exactly.
I've given them all your monies.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I've been sending them potatoes.
No, you have not. Excuse me.
I want me to make you a T.
I've got one. It's
Okay.
Luke, though. A caller at a restaurant on 11th Street reported a woman chasing a guy
Yeah.
through the drive-through with a knife.
Wow.
That's a run-through.
I think also, these surgical procedures are getting more and more quick. Just stand still, I'll cut it off.
Or it could possibly be that they were both trying to catch a too rare chicken.
Oh.
They leaked off the pan and now they're trying to. Yeah. Thank you for that. There's also another restaurant-related call. A caller at a restaurant on 3rd Avenue said that a man, quote, was dancing around all crazy.
Ooh.
And asking people, and this was nice of him,
Yeah.
if they wanted to smoke marijuana with him.
Aw, that's Colorado.
Yeah, right? Nobody wants to smoke alone. And it's like drinking. You don't drink alone.
Maybe he was dancing to, he has some aerobic activity. That's beautiful.
And the problem wasn't the man, it was the long line of people waiting for a token. So it's like, this guy's got good shit. Tell me dance is great.
I thought of the Billy Idol song, Dancing with Myself.
Yeah, well, smoking with myself.
He didn't want to dance with himself. He wanted a friend.
Yeah. I mean, but it's kind of cool. Unless he's hoping they have the marijuana.
That could be the problem. There's not a lot of details, as you said before. These stories are sometimes very scant.
And how do you approach that man? You can either say, "Hey, bud," or "Hey, bud." Dude. A woman came into the Greeley Police Department.
Oh, good.
Physically,
now they're walking in.
I know,
Oh, God.
right?
Hey. Hi. Yeah.
She came in
Good.
to report to say that someone had called her a pedophile. And she wanted an officer to do a background check on her just to verify that she was not a pedophile. How would you know?
You'd be on the list.
I guess, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can sort of say, well, that's if you're caught.
Hasn't she heard of a thing called Google? You should just Google herself.
Right, well, if you're on that list,
yeah,
you I guess.
The sex, whatever thing, they have to put it in there.
Yeah, maybe she has a common name and there is a pedophile with her. I mean, I didn't think of that, but that could be. And you know what they did? They called in a lineup of young boys.
That's so messy.
No, there was a thing in the New York Post today or yesterday about some high school teacher, it's always a high school teacher, who is like banging some 14-year-old boy, and the parents are like, "You ruined his life," and the boy's like, "No, she made 14 the best year ever."
Yeah, you can't give consent.
I know you can't. I know, but it's just different with like old what do you call male high school teachers going after 14, 15-year-old girls. Just no. No.
Anybody who can't give consent, it's wrong.
But I'm sorry, no. If some 30-year-old woman who's kind of hot wants to make like a 15-year-old's day.
Yeah, but you also they can't consent legally.
I know you can't legally consent, but what?
This woman was not worried about that. She was worried about pedophilia, which is probably younger. I mean, that's not. Well,
technically, they'll call you a pedophile even if it's someone, what is, I don't even know what the age of consent is. Is it 16?
It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Move on, honey.
All right, I'm just saying. I'm just, I think in this case, there ought to be a double standard, Because if I was like 13, I don't remember what I was like when I was 13, bar mitzvah, and 14 and 15. Yeah. If some, attractive woman under the age of 84 would show me any physical attention, I would have been the most grateful person in the universe. I would have been, I was a misogynist for like 10 years. I would have been like, I love women. And this woman, God bless her. It's like, don't arrest her. Build her a statue in Union Square. A Can we make it statue? Because that's the way I remember. But anywho, a caller at the Greeley airport reported that the airport was closed but he needed to access his hangar. First of all, go in your closet, if they have the fuzzy ones in it.
Hangers in an airport.
But that's right, I forgot there was that little airport. We had,
Remember we ate
yeah.
there? Yeah.
We had a little cafe in there, and you could watch. It was very cool. You could have pancakes and look out the window, and there were planes taxiing and taking off. There's a small, private sort of plane and jet, not even jet, a private airport. So this guy's like, airport's going, I want to fly my plane. They're expecting me at a business meeting in Oslo, whatever.
But I mean, why would it be closed? I mean, I would think you need access to your airport, like for light flight and all kind of.
Well, I wonder if an airport like that is open 24/7. It's not Kennedy. It's not
You can't
Denver.
fly. You could probably get in there and do stuff to your plane, but you probably can't take off with.
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, honey.
What?
Noise. We need noise.
Give me a second.
Ah! Oh, no. We gotta do this right. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Right here, David. They're here.
Oh, you brought him over? Wait, what about him?
And the little ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a chicken alert. In case you didn't know what that was all about, when there is a story in Greeley Times from the Tribune in any way involving a chicken, or if necessary, a rooster, we do a chicken alert. And this, of course, was or is a chicken alert. A caller, and big surprise here, in a trailer on 6th Avenue, reported a loose chicken.
Uh-oh.
Those loose chickens, man, they're whores. They're just, they'll sleep with anybody.
Yeah, well, gotta make those eggs somehow.
Well, this one tried to attack her as she walked by.
I've heard some roosters and chickens are mean. We saw on a QI, remember the one guy said one of his chickens, a rescue chicken, was mean.
Yes.
And he would attack the workers. He would attack everybody.
Yeah. We just watched this morning. You showed me a guy who had a pet, not groundhog, a pet marmot, prairie dog. And I mean, literally, he got it domesticated because the other person had it in a cage.
Yeah,
it was never in the wild.
His name was Poppy, and he'd go, Poppy, Poppy.
So freaking cute.
I like that, Poppy.
And he lets, the thing crawls all over, sleeps with him, most adorable thing. But he also says, Poppy's moody. Poppy's still a wild fucking animal. It's going to tear his clothes. It's going to, climb up and dig into things.
Through his hamper, the laundry hamper.
Yeah. And then get up on the kitchen table. It's like bad Poppy. It's like,
no, it was eating a succulent. It was eating a plant.
A plant. Yeah, I mean, it's still, on its worst days, it's still an animal. And it has, animal teepees and things. I don't know if it's bitten anybody. It was, he did show, nibbling his ear, but in a gentle, nice way, as opposed to,
No, they're vegetarian. They nibble each other. That's how they express affection.
That's
They
sweet.
nibble each other. That's what they do.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. But then we did see that one prairie dog, two prairie dogs, pulling the corpse of a dead prairie dog off the road. You thought they were going to eat it. I don't know.
No, I think they're just social. They're very packed, so they probably wanted to.
To get him out. I mean, he'd been run over 6 times.
But maybe they wanted to bury him.
Oh.
You didn't get the invite?
No, I wasn't on Twitter that week, so I missed the Instagram post about the
They do, I don't know, Marmot book.
The prairie dog funeral. But it's true, you have people always, the otters, the cute little, the sweet little otters. And then there was that guy, 2 weeks ago, who was swimming and he was attacked. A pack of
really?
otters,
I didn't hear that.
went after him and just tore into him. Oh, God, I hope
he was
I hope that's not one of my elsewhere.
bears?
Oh, shit, no, it's one of my elsewhere. It's my elsewhere today.
Okay,
That's what I was thinking about this. Let's get right to it.
Okay.
So, one of the things we do in Greeley Times is not every story comes from Greeley, Colorado. Some come from other places around the world. This is from Placer or Placer County, California.
Okay.
A man enjoying a swim in a California lake said he was attacked
What did he do to provoke it?
Nothing. He was swimming. He was bitten at least a dozen times,
Oh.
and he was convinced the furry critters wanted to kill him.
They were out for blood.
But I've heard this. Otters look cute, but they can be unbelievably vicious. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, wait, I got it. Ah!
That's a good reenactment. I'm sure that's how it happened.
This is on the VH1. This is how it happened. It's like, man, here's an actor swimming. And then, oh, what a lovely lake. What a lovely thing. Ah! They're kind of low budget, those shows, yeah.
You gotta work with what you got.
So
He
Lefferts,
survived.
well, he did well, but because they're small, if it was
Are they rodents, or did he have to get tetanus, or what did he get? Like rabies shots?
that's a good question. Because I think they're mammals. Aren't they red blood?
But like it doesn't matter. If a dog bites you,
Yeah, mammal will
if
give
a
you
cat
rabies.
dog or cat bites you, could get
Yeah.
rabies, or I don't know what else you get from. I don't know what they carry.
Yeah, well, Matt Leffers, that's the guy's name, said. Oh, I forgot it. Yeah, Matt Leffers said the wild incident occurred on September 3rd at the ironically named Serene Lakes
Oh, that's horrible.
in Placer County in Northern California. This is a New York Post story, of course. Quote, these things were so aggressive, I felt like they wanted to kill me, unquote. Leffers told KCRA Radio, it is by far the most terrifying experience I've ever had in my life. Nothing even comes close. So, Leffers' wife.
David, I'm putting your schnoodle here.
Oh, thank you. Leffers' wife
Water.
rescued him from the group of. Did you put water in it?
Yeah, put water
Oh, cool.
in here.
Maybe I'll do it on the show so they can see me
Yeah.
inhale.
Here, maybe throw like this. You'll feel better.
Actually, bring one. You want me to give one of these to our friend?
No,
'Cause
no,
she-
they're for you, honey.
Yay!
They're
All
your
right.
toys.
Here we go. Here we go.
Everybody has to get their own toys.
I'm gonna throw the slots against the wall.
Whoa! Look at how good she did. Look
Yeah,
at him
baby.
sticking out his hoot hoot.
I don't know where the other one went.
They're both there. They're on. Oh.
Oh, that one didn't stick so well.
I can't grab it. Oh, I found my butt.
So, now he was rescued by his wife from the group of. Do you know what a group of otters is called?
A kill?
Yeah, a romp.
You said that and he just moved.
He just romped. He just moved
Yeah.
that. A romp of otters.
Yeah, they romped him.
I
They
see that.
romped him.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Well, he was on a paddleboard and he was treated at the hospital for 40 puncture wounds.
Ugh.
He's the second otter bite victim in that lake this season.
Why are they swimming there? Put a sign saying, "Don't swim here. Otters will attack you."
Killer otter, like with the teeth and the fangs.
They're out for blood.
You know.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, otter not swim here, you know? Oh.
Both of them fell down, David.
Yeah, I didn't throw him quite the way I should have. Peter Tira,
Is that the
a
man?
spokesperson for the California Department of Fish and Wildlife,
Oh.
said that otter attacks on people are rare, but they are predators.
Yeah, but if you have 2 otter attacks in that river in a short time, there's something going on.
I guess. I don't know. Gang. Maybe it's the Crips and the Bloods, but they have them for the otter world.
No, it's the same gang of otters attacking humans. Maybe it's going to be
Oh.
like Planet of the Apes, but otters. Maybe they're taking over that lake, and that they're getting humans out, and there'll be otter, kingdom there.
There's a big TV series called The Otter Limits that would be scary about these things happening. The Otter Limits. Get it? The otter. Meanwhile, Leffers says that the agency's response is, quote, wimpy.
I agree. You got bit by stuck 40 times by piercing teeth.
No, but yeah.
I told you when my mother got bit by the dog. Mom had a lot of health stuff, right?
Yeah.
And she was, working in a patient's home, and they let the dog out in the yard, and it bit her. My mom has, skinny, but it bit her in the tushy baba.
Oh, wow.
And she said it was the worst experience of her life, like being bit by something.
Yeah.
She said you feel the teeth. It's like knives. You feel like knives going into you.
Remember when someone we know had
Esther.
her hand hit, well, that was a dog.
Yeah.
Someone also had a hand bitten by a cat and it got infected or was scratched by something. something
Oh,
like a cat.
Neil got bit by a squirrel, but
But
she was
that,
okay.
yeah, a squirrel jumped on her.
Yeah, yeah.
Did it bite her or just scratch her?
No, the weird part was she was pushing Pamuk as a baby, I think, and she was in DC, and I think a squirrel fell out of the tree. You know, it fell out. It was trying to grab on her to stop falling.
Right, yeah.
You know, like, but in that grabbing,
It tore down her
it was
skin, yeah.
biting. Or,
Wow. Oh, it was biting. Wow.
Not biting, probably scratching.
Yeah. But
David, just look at me 1 second. I'm gonna go soon, and you'll meet me. You know where.
you'll tell me what time. You'll have to text me
Whenever you're done, you just come over.
when. All right. Well, I know where you're gonna be. You know, there's a lot of stores in there.
We'll just find a place.
Yeah. So text me where you are.
Okay.
Figure I'll be probably out of here. I don't know, 11:30ish, because I don't think I'm gonna do a full.
Do the full show. Take your
We'll see.
time.
We'll see how it
Take your
goes.
time.
But he wants the animals. He wants the otters out of the lake. I'm like,
How can you
it's
do
their
that?
home. What do you mean? You get used to it out of the lake.
How can you displace them? Where are they gonna go? They're gonna go to another lake and start attacking other people.
You can swim at the YMCA. You can go swim.
No, you can't. You need a good big lake for paddleboard. He's paddleboarding.
Oh,
Paddleboard is that thing the kids used to have in the pool in Colorado. That huge, like,
Alright.
it looks like a canoe, and you.
all right. So you gotta find another.
We saw them. We went up to Pingree. Remember, they were doing it on the rapids.
Yeah.
They look like they're in the water, and it looks like a kayak. It's
Right,
like,
but then still, he can find another place. One assumes
Yeah.
to paddleboard,
Mhm.
not take the otters away from their otter home.
I feel bad that he got bit though. That was
Well,
a
yeah.
bird.
Yeah, and in fact, that you swim into a pack. They feel
And
threatened.
what do you do? Like, then it's like, how do you? I mean, what's the appropriate response when you're attacked by otters?
I'm not sure. And it's like, you immediately call for a humanitarian ceasefire, is what you
Well,
do.
The joke was my student in Canada. So we had black bears and brown bears in Colorado, and she's like, if it's a black bear or brown, brown bear, you get bigger. Black bear, you get smaller. You go into you make yourself a pool on the ground.
Try to remember in that
I'm
moment
thinking-
which one you do.
And also, color is perception. I'm like, I'm not going to get close enough and examine the fur and then say, should I make myself bigger or smaller? I was like, I don't think that's good advice.
Yeah, well, if you really remember, if you wait, black bear big,
Yeah,
small,
but I
or
don't know
brown.
which
Is it brown bear big?
I don't even know to this day. I mean, I don't think.
But
Here,
animals.
I'm going to
Yeah.
ask. What do you do if you're being attacked by a black bear or a brown bear? Playing safe around bears. Black bears do not play dead. Okay, here we go.
Oh, black bears don't play dead. They'll
It
probably
says-
eat you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What?
So if it's a black bear, you're to raise your arms, right? If it's a brown bear, you lie down. Brown down.
Brown down, that's good.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Black attack, brown down.
Yes.
What if it's a polar bear? You show them
If
your
it's a polar
molars.
bear, you have to give him a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that would do it. What is a panda bear? Yeah. No, but it's like when my almost phobic response to like bees and flying stingy creatures like bees and stuff. I was like, you're right. If a bee is kind of buzzing around,
Yeah.
it's not there to bother you. It's there to look for a flower. It's there to do its thing and be peaceful. And even if it's not a big old bumbly bee, like any bee.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, all right, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
if you walk into a beehive,
They're gonna.
Yeah. it's not going to be a good. Even though most bees.
No, it's not gonna be a good time for anybody.
Right. Yeah, this is true. And especially if you're not on good behavior. Good behavior. Behavior. No, not going there. Not there. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Let's do one or two, or I'll do one or two because Joyce has to get ready and go meet a friend. But I am gonna finish up.
I put your blower here. You can do your blower.
Joyce.
Your blower, honey.
Yeah, Joyce has set up my blower.
I set up your.
I hope you paid her.
Your steam blower.
Yeah, okay. Because
Shoots the steam out the hole.
I'm gonna.
It shoots the steam out the hole, David.
Yeah, steam comes out of the hole of my blower.
Yes.
Joyce got this for me, which is very cool. It is a basically it's to when you have congestion in the chest and in the face, this apparently helps a bit. So it turns water into steam, and you just go. It's kind of it reminds me of Blue Velvet with Dennis Hopper, like going. But it's nice. You get like hot, warm, nice steam into your face and into your lungs. I'm like, yeah. It's kind of I'm gonna plug it in, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this on the show. If I'm gonna show you my bunions, which I do, I might as well show you steam going into my face. So let me rearrange things while I remind you that you're watching Dave's Gone By, our 918th episode, live on this Saturday morning. It is November 18th, 2023. We're calling this one And I Feel Fine for any REM fans out there. Basically, it's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine. So, let's see. I'm going to plug this in over here. And this will take some time. It takes about 6 minutes to warm up and actually create a steamy thing. So let's see if I can get that in there. That's what she said. Okay, I've turned it on. It allows 6 minutes for steam. Caution, hot steam. So yes, first time ever on Dave's Gone By, you guys can watch me with this giving me a blowjob. What, dear? What? Well, sign you cleanse and sign you marry. Did I do? Yeah. Well, you did that, but it was on radio. We didn't get to watch that. This will be physically on air. Cool. That's like his master's voice. See, he likes it already. Back to Greeley Times here on Dave's Gone By. Let's see what else we have here. A caller on 41st Avenue said, he trapped an owl in an upside-down trash can for, here we go again, crazy animals. The owl had been attacking his dogs. The police asked if he wanted to get removed. He said, no, I'm just going to lunch anyway at Hooters. Get a little owl comedy there. A little owlishness. No, not feeling it. All right, I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one more item from our Greeley Times today about a caller on 11th Street who said a man living out of his vehicle was littering. Which I wonder about, because if you're living in a vehicle and you put anything, isn't that just like taking out your trash? Just like everybody else, you just happen to live in a car. It is in the car, it comes out of your car, in front of your car. Basically, that's trash pickup. I don't know. I'm just wondering about that. Anyway, that was Greeley Times for November 18th, 2023.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool. I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Thank you, Groucho. Oh, yes, my friends. It is 10:30 in the morning Eastern Time here in the Daverhood. I want to let you know about a couple of other things. First of all, even though my personal radio website for the show, davesgoneby.com, is momentarily down, I'll let you know when it goes back up, but you can still go to davelefkowitz.org, and that is the place where you can read my stuff, because davesgoneby.com is about the radio program and all our archives and videos and audio, which, as I said, you can access at archive.org also. But you can go to davelefkowitz.org and read. My wife mentioned an article that I wrote about Gloria Gaynor a few months ago for Long Island Woman magazine that got, that won second place award for Long Island Press Club. You want to read it? Go to davelefkowitz.org. If you want to read interviews that I've done with a lot of other famous people, and I'm talking folks like, Billie Jean King and Lori Loughlin before she became a criminal, and, who else have I? Joan London over the years, and singer Diane Warren. What's her name? Ronnie Spector. I mean, people who haven't been on this program, but that I wrote articles and interviews on. If you want to read those, they're all there. Plus, lots of stories I've written about the American theater, journalism things, tons of reviews. And I mean, theater reviews going back to the late 1980s, all the way up through like the 2010s and teens. Pardon me. Excuse me. Those are saved there too. Plus also song lyrics. I've written tons of songs, serious, a lot of parody and comedy songs as well. If you want to see the lyrics, there they are. Plus comical essays. I co-write Rabbi Saul Solomon's Rabbinical Reflections. So if you want to read those, you can go to davelefkowitz.org as well. It's all there. It's all free. And even though I've been way too busy to be adding new material over the past couple of months, I will still be adding new material in the months and years ahead, so there's always new stuff to read at davelefkowitz.org. So give it a look. Anyway, what do we have? We have our Colorado Limerick of the Dam coming up for Columbine, Colorado. And also, we will have, what else do we have? Our Friends of the Daverhood, where we just let you know what people who've been on the program in the past have been up to, what are they doing, because we've been proud to have them on the show. And now, oh my gosh, they have a new movie out, or they've got an album out, or they're on, they were in an off-Broadway show years ago when we had them on the program, and now they're in something else. So we call those the Friends of the Daverhood. We're coming up on those as well. And let's do Bunion Watch. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, several weeks ago now, as a matter of fact, it was, sorry chicken, it was when I first started teaching again for the fall semester. And I had a new pair of sneakers on, and the sneakers were very, usually these sneakers, they fit me like a glove, they're fantastic. But in this particular case, the sneaker just rubbed a certain part of my foot, and it just rubbed against, and I was on my feet all day that first day. And so by the end of the day, I was in absolute agony, and it was just rubbing and bleeding, and it was sore, and it was going to be not a corn or even a callus. It was just going to be like really raw and painful. So it made me think of my bunions. Wouldn't it do the same for you? Because I've had bunions since childhood, and they've almost never really given me a problem. They always made me, when I was a kid, wear these awful, big, clunky shoes, because those were big enough to put on my feet. But other than that, thank God I'm not one of those people who've had painful bunions or really terrible hammer toe, although I have a bit of hammer toe. They've just unsightly and annoying and forced me to wear a larger size shoe than I ordinarily would have to if I had normal size feet. And the really annoying part is that both my feet are different, so that the bunion on my right foot is huge, and the bunion on my left is not so bad. But sometimes there were points in my life when I was buying sneakers and stuff where I would wear a 7.5 on my left foot and an 8 on my right, and I wouldn't tell the I go up to the counter at the shoe store, and I'd just be like, buy, mix and match without telling them, and grab one from one box and one from the other and bring it up, and just sort of say, yeah, no, 7.5, here it is. Just because that was the only way they would truly and properly fit on my foots. So my feet are still like that. Thank goodness the bunions haven't grown any bigger or worse. But the weird part I don't understand, is that my left foot is pretty, the more normal one. They both have bunions. And yet that was the one that gave me a problem. That was the one where this particular shoe was just grinding and rubbing on the top of the bunion of the foot. And I was just like, whereas my right foot was fine. The foot that should be more problematic, the foot that should be more like, it's big, it's bulbous, it's annoying. Therefore, any shoe is going to have more tightness and more difficulty. No, not in this particular case. But it reminded me that I do have bunions, and that I want to share those bunions with you. I share so much about my life, right? I share about my growing up. I share about my family. I share about religion. I share about my marriage to an extent. I share sick jokes, bad jokes, good jokes, whatever. That's what I do. That is what I've been doing for 21 and a half years. Well, 21 and a little bit years on this program. It's basically saying, hey, I'm laying it all out there. This is who I am. This is the truth of my life, and I try to be funny about it. So, I'm not going to lie to you and say that I've got feet like Princess Grace, right? Or like little Japanese foot-bindy girls. No, I got foots. And you got foots with bunions. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for Bunion Watch. Ooh, my shirt is lighter than I thought it was. Here we go. I'm going to share and show the bunions of my 2 feet. So this is the bad foot. Oh no, sorry, this is quote unquote the better foot that gave me a problem weeks ago. And apologies if there's lint between my toes because I've been wearing a sock. So there's my old bunion right there. Let me turn it around a little bit so I can really show you what I'm working with here. See, you barely even notice it. You can it's a bunion. You can see it, but it's not that big a deal. It's cute. It's like this is Mount Etna, not Mount Everest. And when I do my toe like that, you can see sort of a red circle there around it. Let me get closer to the camera. Okay, that's Bunion 1. Now this is the monster bunion, but the one that has not given me a problem, knock wood. Sorry, so far. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's my right foot bunion. Da, 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 da. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, huh? There we look at that sucker. I wish this table would go lower, this desk would go a little bit lower. But you can kind of see the size. Let me see it show from this angle. See, it doesn't look so bad from there. I kind of have to, oh, there you go, look at that. That is a hot bunion shot. Anybody here who's a foot fetishist and you're into the whole bunion thing, look at that puppy. I'm gonna do a measurement because we've been doing that as well, just to show the level of bunionation on my foot. How do I do this? I think this a little bit better. I'll pull this down for a moment. There we go. Oh baby, oh baby. Still can't really see the bunion too well. I'm going to try to measure the bunion coming actually off. How high, let's see how high it goes off the foot in this direction. This is new. Because I'm trying to do something a little bit new about this every week, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. This is Bunion Watch for today, November 18th, 2023. And the bunion's coming up about 2 centimeters off the rest of my foot. Worth waiting for, wasn't it? Wasn't that just a beautiful thing? Let me get this back up. Bunion Watch. Where else in the entire universe do you get to look at a person's bunions on a Saturday morning?
She's Bunion, she really is a fun one, she's Bunion.
Listen, doctor, to my plea, it's time for bunionectomy. Bunions, they're a pain in the feet. These feet of mine have got to go, please get these bunions off my toes. My alpha foot will always laugh. My alpha bunions, bunions, painful, painful, bunions, bunions, painful, painful, bunions, bunions, painful, painful.
Now here's the deal. I will say that on the pain scale that my wife created for me of bunionness, it's really no problem this week. Last week, I'm definitely in the happy side of the bunion pain scale, which I'm very, very happy to report. But anyway, bunions, non-painful. That is Bunion Watch for this week on Dave's Gone By. No, so now this is, look at this. Look how steamy it is. Ooh. Just going to inhale a little bit. Ooh. It's nice. It feels good. It's not hard, and it's not really, really hot. It's just warm steam, which I'm hoping is going to come in and kind of and break up the the phlegm, the things that's sitting in my chest at the moment. Also really nice when it goes into the nose and into the sinuses. That really feels pretty good. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is about 22:11 Eastern Time in the Daverhood with me, Dave Lefkowitz. My darling wife Joyce, she is going to go have coffee and have some fun with a friend. So she won't be with us for the rest of the program, but we will still do our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and we will still do our Friends of the Daverhood. So what I want to talk about, while I still have some throat left, so as promised, I'm not going to get too political. I'm not going to, because it's been weighing on me for weeks now, since October 7th, and what happened overseas, which just enraged me, and it would have made me pull my hair out if I had any hair to pull. But and it's just killing me because I've got Joyce has a full-time gig. I've got part-time gigs teaching, so I got to be really careful in this day and age with what you say. There was a professor who was fired from it might have been Cornell. I'm not 100% sure, for doing sort of anti-Palestinian posts and things and making statements. So they just said, this is a surgeon. This is a guy, and they got rid of him for his free speech. Fair's fair, because all these people who have been doing anti-Israel stuff, they're getting fired too. And they're, we saw that truck that went around to these college campuses where they took pictures of these college students protesting against Israel, protesting for Hamas, protesting for Palestine. So they took pictures of these people and then put them on a truck and said, here, and here's the name of this person. Now, if you have a company and you're thinking of hiring this human being for a job, just know this is what they are for. This is what they represent. And I, much as that I come down on the side of Zionism, that I am 100%, 115% pro-Israel, just as Rabbi Saul is, I am for, nonviolent, free and open protest and stuff. And if I have a company and I see what someone I potentially want to hire represents, I kind of want to know. And I kind of want to be like, no, I'm not going to, if that's what they believe in, I would not hire them. But at the same time, there is this tit for tat now of like, oh, you put someone's face up on social media, you put someone's face on a truck going by that shows, here's a person who's borderline anti-Semite, at the very least anti-Israel and so forth. And now, what did you expect would happen? Now they put out, apparently, according to the New York Post, a map of New York with all these places singled out that cater to Jewish people and the Jewish vote and Jewish politics. So the New York Times, which is kind of a joke, because Jews who've read the New York Times for the last 30 years know that they bend over backwards to the left side to be against Israel, even though the Times has often had Jewish owners. But they literally, certainly pro-Arab, certainly certainly against the Israeli government, and have been long before Netanyahu was there, long before all this has been going on. The Times has always kind of leaned over to look at the other side of things unfairly, I believe. So it's hilarious that the the pro-Palestinian youth for a free Palestine, or whatever the fuck they call themselves, is like singling out the New York Times as this incredible pro-Zionist organization, which it hasn't been, right? It's hilarious. But then like dozens of other spots, probably like Barney Greenglass Bagels, or all these other places that are very specifically, they say, Jewish oriented, as a way of targeting them and saying, okay, fine, if you're Arab or pro-Arab, don't shop here, don't eat here, don't patronize this place, or more scarily, like, this might be a good place to vandalize or to spray paint or to do bad things to. So that's where, it gets ooky. And God forbid I should do the equivalency, the moral equivalency of both, on both sides of this idea that, well, people are suffering on both sides of the coin when this was begun on October 7th, and we know by whom. And I stick by that. I stick by, freeing the hostages, mourning the 12 to 1,400 dead Israelis before giving a single thought to the people who are responsible or the people who elected and allowed those responsible to come and run the place where they're living. You know what I'm saying. And I'm not going to be specific. I'm not going to be, very direct because of the times that we're living in. And because of Jesus Christ, of seeing just how much Israel and secondarily Jews are still hated everywhere in the whole fucking world, right? To see what happened in London and Ireland and New York City and Times Square and Grand Central Station of not just a dozen crazy people, not just a dozen brainwashed, people of Arab extraction showing up, waving some signs and screaming and no. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of people, which of course makes the left wing feel like, oh, well, all these thousands of people can't be wrong. Oh, gee, it must be since Israel and Jews are now in the minority, as if we never were in the minority. You've got to be wrong on this, because look how many people are hating Netanyahu and hating Israel all over the world. And let me tell you something, fuck you. No, just makes us stronger. Just makes us realize that, this is what we've been dealing with since, the Crusades, since Queen Isabella sent Jews packing out of Spain, since Russia gave us pogroms, since Hitler had a solution for the Jewish question and the Jewish problem. Nothing changes. It's old, horrible, sour wine in new bottles. It's people who, for some, whatever fucking reason, think Jews are the problem, and Israel, a little if they really think Jews are the problem, leave Israel alone, because that's the one place Jews can go, right? If Jews are so awful, and we're so controlling of money, and we're so controlling of media, and you fucking hate us so much, you should be supporting the land and the state of Israel, because that would be the one place. If you want to kick us out of this country, if you want to throw us and expel us and exile us from that country, where can we go? Oh, okay, we got Israel, right? This is our land. This is our place. And as Rabbi Saul Solomon has said, if you cannot live there peacefully, if you are not Jewish, and you are trying to live in land that is Israeli, and you're not comfortable there, or you feel like a second-class citizen, just pick up and fucking move, right? I love, and that's what Jews allowed the people in Gaza to do. They said, look, you got 24 hours, leave. We're going to bomb the shit out of you because of you bombed the shit out of us. So take 20, grab your camels, grab your food, grab whatever, get out, right? And then the United States was like, no, that's not enough time, and we got to find a place for them to go. They have to get across the border. Israel was like, okay. And it dragged on. You remember this, day after day after day, until almost 10 days had gone by before Israel really started the bombing of Gaza. Plenty of time for a person in the tippy top north of Gaza to go all the way down out of Gaza and go into Egypt if they would accept them there, Lebanon, Syria, get on a plane to any other fucking country and get out, because it was time for Israel to level the tunnels, to kill the terrorists, to stop, this branch of ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, whatever, you name your terrorist organization. We all know who comprises all of them. Anyway, again, before I say too much, it's just really edifying to see how many people across the globe think that they're just being politically, pro-human rights. and pro the babies who are dying, and pro the poor people who are exiled, without taking one fucking minute to realize that they're in land that is designated for one particular population, and that they're being controlled by a terrorist organization that caused untold, and in a surprise attack, death and suffering and murder. And Susan Sarandon will get up there in her little fucking Homer Simpson outfit, and who all these celebrities are that somehow still know how to hold a pen. They're signing things, and Roger fucking Waters, and all these people who use anti-Israelness as a cover for some sort of deep ingrained anti-Semitism. Fuck them. I hope they die. I hope they get miserable, long-lasting cancer and die. And I'm not being funny. I'm not being comical. I'm not being saying, Susan Sarandon, she has the right to her opinion. She does. She has the right to make speeches. She does. I have the right to wish her death. Her acting career died like 10 years ago. She did some shit Broadway show a couple of months ago. I'm not watching. I don't care. Fuck her. That's it. That's it. Just, if you're not going to leave us alone, if you're going to relentlessly march and block traffic and, make my people feel afraid, which is the real thing. Because you want to post on social media, go ahead. You want to get up and have a legitimate, peaceful march and hold up your little red and green banners and your fucking megaphones, one of which killed a Jewish guy, by the way, and say what you have to say. It's America. You go ahead. You have the right to tell me how much you hate me and, my racial country, right? The country where my heart is in America, but the country where the other part of my heart is. You've got every right, but I've got the right to tell you how much I want you dead and how much I despise you. And I will. And I am. Anyway, enough of that. Because, and none of this moral equivalency, like, when is revenge too much revenge? This is what idiots are posting on Facebook. When is revenge, like, going overboard? As long as there's still Hamas people alive and fighting and hiding, it's not enough. Revenge is enough when it does the job of literally turning the enemy into a shit smear, right? A shit smear in the sand. When Hamas is that, and Gaza is completely cleared out, and the only people who are allowed to live there are either Jews or people who will work and collaborate and be friendly and respectful of Jews, that's when revenge stops. That's when you have your humanitarian ceasefire. That's when you have your peace. Until then, bomb, bomb, bomb. La 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 bomb, bomb. Anyway, I'm Dave Lefkowitz. This is Dave's Gone By. Let's get on to some more show. We have just a little bit to do for you. As a matter of fact, we have the Colorado Limerick. Again, pardon my throat. The Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we will be going to Columbine, Colorado. But before we do, let's get on to the friends of the Daverhood. These are people who have appeared on this program, many of them famous. And, we're thrilled, we're delighted that they took the time and had fun on the show. But they've done other things since they've appeared on the broadcast. What are they up to now? What shows are they in? What books have they written? What podcasts have they started? These are the friends of the Daverhood. Wait a minute, where's my friends of the Daverhood song? Oh, I got it. Hold on. Here we are. Thank you, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So let's see who's been on the show and what are they doing now. I want to let you know that Melanie Mayron, the actress, she is appearing off-Broadway in a show called Mad Women of the West. It's a comedy at the Actors Temple Theater off-Broadway, and that is running through just the 1st of January. So you have the whole rest of the year to see it. I want to let you know that Jose Rivera's play, Sonnets for an Old Century, is being done at Intar over at West 52nd Street in Manhattan, running just from the 17th through the 19th. So you really just have this weekend to see it. And also just this weekend, Bill T. Jones, the brilliant director and choreographer, he has also conceived a new piece called Watch Night, and it's being done at 12 St. Mark's Place just this weekend. Now, tomorrow, if I were in New York, I would run to see this. Eric Anderson, Willie Nile, and Tom Paxton are among the many performers taking part in a piece called Music Plus Revolution, Folk of the 1960s. It's a big gathering. I think it's sold out, as a matter of fact. They're doing it at Zankel Hall, which I think is part of Carnegie. But you can see if you can get tickets or scout tickets. This is happening tomorrow, Sunday. Maybe Sunday afternoon. It might not be a night thing. But it's all these amazing people, Music and Revolution at Zankel Hall tomorrow. Now on Monday, Quinn Lemley is doing her cabaret show, Rita Hayworth. The heat is on. That is at Don't Tell Mama, and it's just Monday night. Or you can go see Karen Akers Monday night doing her cabaret performance, Water Under the Bridge, and that is at Birdland over on West 44th Street. So Quinn Lemley, Karen Akers, take your pick. Two major cabaret people. Or Tuesday night, Alice Ripley is at the Green Room 42. And now playing through the end of November, just about the end of November, the extended return of Jill Sobule's rock concert-ish off-Broadway musical called Fuck 7th Grade that is being done at the Wild Project. You know, she got it up a few months ago. It was a hit, got it up again, and now it's having one more run at the Wild Project over on East 3rd Street. Playing now also, playing to almost the end of December, you can see pianist and performer Hershey Felder doing Monsieur Chopin at 59E59 Theaters off Broadway. So Felder is a classical pianist, but he also does biographies of the keyboardists and the composers that he plays. So this one was all about Friedrich Chopin. Lilias White is on Broadway in Hadestown at the Walter Kerr Theater. Stuart Zagnut is on Broadway in the Barry Manilow musical Harmony at the Ethel Barrymore Theater. And Alan Menken wrote the music for Aladdin on Broadway at the New Amsterdam Theater. He also wrote the music for Off-Broadway's Little Shop of Horrors in revival at the West Side Theater. Seth Bisson-Hirsch is doing Seth's Talent Showcase every Tuesday night at Don't Tell Mama. Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano hold court at Birdland on Saturday evenings, like every Saturday at 5:30. And then Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks, they're at Birdland on Monday nights for 2 shows. And of course, Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. For tickets, go to birdlandjazz.com. Want to remind you that Evan Seplow, our great friend, he has a website called stagebuddy.com, all about things to do in New York, ranging from movies to theater to nightlife to going out to restaurants and things. Stagebuddy.com. Dr. Demento, still doing new Dr. Demento shows online only at drdemento.com. Big shout out to our great friends of the Daverhood, Vicky Quaddy, who is doing Late Night Catechism, of course, at the Greenhouse Theater in Chicago and traveling all around with it. Plus, she has, Holy Ghost Bingo is done. I think Christmas Bingo, she's starting that up very, very shortly. So go, if you're in Chicago and you've never seen Vicky Quaddy in a show, now is the time. Mary Shen Barnage, our great writer friend, Mary Shen Barnage, has written tons of theater reviews in Chicago. She has been laid up for a year with a terrible, one of these blood infection things, and she's gotten over it slowly, really slowly. But if you want to read her old writings, just go to totaltheater.com and look for Mary Shen Barnage. I also got to give a shout out, of course, to Leslie Hoban Blake, who co-hosts Two on the Aisle with our friend Charlie Gross, and to David Sheward, who writes about theater for totaltheater.com, for theaterlife.com, and culturaldaily.com, and he reviews new off Broadway and Broadway shows at these websites, David Sheward. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is just after 11 a.m. Eastern Time here in the Daverhood. You're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, and it's our 718th program. We've been calling it, and I feel fine, because, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. I feel better having a little bit of smoke and steam coming out of my, whatever you would call it, my Allow 6 Minutes inhaler thing. Thank you to my wife for setting that up. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the show so far, which has included me bantering with Joyce and Greeley Times, and also talking about world events, and also Bunion Watch. But how could I forget that we still have a poem to do? We have a naughty, tasteless, 5-line limerick poem. We do one every week about a different place in Colorado, the beautiful state. And today we're going to Columbine, Colorado, for our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain,
Colorado, indeed. Thank you, Christine Lavin, there for that. Yes, it's our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. So, I got into my head to write different poems about all these places. Today, we go to Columbine, famous and infamous. First of all, Columbine is part of essentially Greater Denver, the Denver metro area in central northeast Colorado. Martin Company, like from Lockheed Martin, they started making missiles there in the 1950s, and it really helped the place explode and grow into a big exurban, suburban, almost urban, but with tons of things going on. The town exploded, if you will, no pun intended. However, on April 20th of 1999, I can't believe it was almost 25 years ago, two high school students, one of whom, and this kills me, was the great-grandson of a Jewish philanthropist. Who knew? Who knew? But either way, two crazy, messed up, loner kids thought it would be a great idea to go through Columbine High School and shoot people. So they killed 12 students and injured 24 more before killing themselves. Before, thank goodness, not having to pay taxes to feed them for 50 years and then to have them go up on appeal every decade or so. So no, they spared the world. They blew their own heads off, yay. But they also killed 12 innocent students and injured 24 more. So that's why if you've heard of Columbine, that may be why. That's what sort of put the place on the map. Unfortunately, there's a memorial in a park behind Columbine High School. I've never been there. Probably should have gone. But anyway, there's other reasons to visit Columbine. It's close to Denver. There's lots of things to do. And it's part of Colorado. Anyway, we have a limerick for you all about Columbine, Colorado. We call it our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. A skiing instructor from Columbine molested each girl in the slalom line. Together they got him and stabbed him and shot him. He lies in a box made of solemn pine. For comments and complaints, please go to davesgoneby at AOL.com, davesgoneby at AOL.com. You can also post on my Facebook page, which is, you're watching it. So either post there or message me there. Direct message me on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you. I don't have the time or energy to respond to everybody, but I try, and I certainly read everything and love your opinions and comments. And if they're anti-Israel, I'll really get in there and insult you. So go for it. Anyway, plus remember to check out davelefkowitz.org for my writings, archive.org for the Dave's Gone By channel. We also have a channel for Dave's Gone By on YouTube, as well as on castbox.fm, the podcast platform. As you can see, I'm going to end the show rather short this week because we didn't have a guest, we didn't have a quiz, and I just don't have the voice. But I can't wait to hear back. And if you hear what I hear, if my voice sounds more normal to you, or if it's just one big craggy, like I should be in a horror, voicing a horror movie. It's like, don't go behind the door, you wascally wabbit. Anywho, I want to thank my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, for joining me for the first part of the program. Love her, and she does so much for me, both for the show and in my regular life. She's amazing. And let's see, I want to thank all of you for watching the show and for joining us in the Daverhood, not just this week, but every week, whether you're watching us live or whether you're going back on, my website, which I'm hoping will be fixed sooner than later, as well as in archive.org and Facebook and everywhere else, and for telling your friends about the program and for supporting the Daverhood. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be back next Saturday for a new Dave's Gone By during Thanksgiving weekend. I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be grading, hoping I'll be healthier after all this. So you got to check the Facebook page. I'll let you know whether we'll have a brand new episode of Dave's Gone By in a week, or we might have to wait 2 weeks before I get a new one up. But believe me, the show continues. There will be an episode 919 of Dave's Gone By, whether in 7 days or in 14 or so. We'll let you know. But until then, have a most happy and safe and food-filled and festival-filled or football-filled or, Native American guilt-filled Thanksgiving and gone by.
Days gone by, gone by.